welcome to the Scene Weekly podcast, where two part-time cinematics give their best mid-level takes on all things on screens. This week's episode is focused on often debated brilliance of the 2008 hit Twilight. Come join Jonathan and Steven and Olivia for another week of hopefully less plot chatter and copious more film banter. We are Scene Weekly, and welcome to our world. Miss Olivia.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hello.
I can hear you.
I'm honored to be here.
I can hear you chuckling the entire intro. So
The whole time of the introduction is just laughter.
I think it's going to be a great podcast from here. I want to introduce my lovely girlfriend Olivia is joining us for this podcast this week, and I am very happy to have you here, Olivia.
I'm happy to be here too. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Jonathan.
No worries. And where is here? Where are you guys?
We're currently in the lovely suburb of Salt Lake City called Draper.
We're in
nice.
Yeah, and Steven's
related to Dawn,
right about here.
Yeah, I'm one room over for audio consistencies here. So
yeah,
understood. So what are you guys doing there? Hanging out, having fun?
We're just
pretty much.
We're just chilling, as the kids are saying.
Chillaxing.
I think they've been saying that for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like what 40 years ago for you guys? Like, how long they've been saying? Since like World War II? Like when was that?
1918.
World War I. Sorry, the Great War. You guys weren't even calling it that then.
Just the average war.
The Great One. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts here? Twilight. How did we get here?
Honestly. How did we pick this, Steven?
This is the idea, the formation of this podcast. Granted, we have been off air for a while, and we've been kind of gestating ideas and things like that, and taking some time to reflect on what we could do to turn this podcast into something even better. And Jonathan had this great idea where he said, "Hey, we should have your girlfriend Olivia on the podcast." And I was like, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Like, what do you want to talk about? And
pretty good.
He's like, we should find a movie that Olivia loves and you hate, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Something in that realm. And I've been dating Olivia for about 6 months now. We've definitely gone down the rabbit hole of movies we like and love, and things that we haven't seen and whatnot. And there's always been Twilight that she's kind of mentioned as like a cornerstone of her youth. And I did, like, a few months ago, we watched, I think, the first 45 minutes, and I was like, dear Lord.
Riveted.
He fell asleep. Okay.
Were you tired, or was it the movie?
I think it was a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
understood. I mean, at least you didn't make it all the way to the running scene, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get that far yet.
The running scene? There's several.
I mean, scenes. The first one, though, is pretty epic. Let's be honest. Yeah. No, anyway, I'll give the background from my end. I love it when Steven gets very opinionated on things, and that's where I think it's the most fun. And so that's therefore where I really wanted to start a movie he dislikes, because there hasn't been that many. I would say over Death Note was clearly top tier dislike of this entire podcast. And that's 70 episodes we've done.
Even then, I tried to find ways to like it. Like I tried, and I couldn't. I really couldn't.
And I wanted more of that. I wanted more of, like, this is just the worst movie, and I can never like it kind of thing. And then I wanted you to be on the flip side, because I know that you are opinionated. I wanted that. It'd make for a good intellectual conversation. So
yeah, and I think Twilight is one of those movies that it already has that kind of cultural breeding ground of, like, if you didn't grow up with it, if you weren't, like, of that age when it came out, like, you just kind of dismissed it, right? I never watched this movie when it came out. I don't know about you, Jonathan. Was this in your wheelhouse?
No, I didn't watch it until this is going to sound weird, but even 7-8 years ago.
Oh, you decided to put it on when you were 35?
Yeah.
Creepy.
We're still watching it, and you're 40.
That's true.
No, I actually, my wife and I, to your chagrin, enjoyed it pretty thoroughly when we watched it, up until honestly the running scene, and I was like, what is going on? This is outrageous. And then the whole baseball thing, of course, getting a little ahead of ourselves, but it just made the allure, I think, even bigger in my eyes.
It's awesome. There's the Muse song, like it's great. It's like a choreographed. I mean, it made me like want to be more into baseball. It made me want to pitch like with my leg all the way up like that, like she does. Like I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll get into that scene.
I thought and just to get immediately into that scene, I thought I couldn't hate baseball actually worse, because like I've despised baseball since I was 14 when I stopped playing, and like for varieties of reasons that we've talked about in this podcast before. But like I hate baseball. It's just so bland and boring. It's the worst sport in my view. And then they got to that, and I'm like, what happened here in the writing of this book that there's just a need to throw in baseball? I love the fact that Robert Pattinson like went away to Oregon, and like of his 3 things, he was like, I'm gonna get ripped, work out 5 hours a day, and I'm gonna also learn how to play baseball for this scene. It's great. How did I get in there?
I got a couple of questions about this too, and I asked this to you last night. I was like, yeah. Well, with the baseball scene in regards. One,
okay,
this is where like I had peak interest in the movie. I was like, a baseball scene.
Well, he was like, oh.
2, he gives Bella a hat from literally 1918 when he turned into a vampire. Like this is a hat from like the early stages of baseball that he just kept in his pocket.
Yeah, they like researched it well. Like they got the like accurate stuff.
It's when we were at war. Yeah.
Yeah.
He died of Spanish influenza. Like
yeah.
He kept that hat though.
Products really lasted a long time back then, huh?
It's true. Yeah.
It was made. Things aren't made the same way.
3, I asked Olivia, I was like, was this like added to the script or was it actually in the book? And she's like, no. This is book accurate. Like this was in the book.
Wait, hold up. First of all, we gotta take a step back. So, how are the books, generally speaking, or like in comparison?
So this
I didn't know you read them.
I read the first 2, but the books are interesting because they're very different from the movies in terms of like how Bella is portrayed. Like Stephanie Meyer, for background, she's a Mormon woman. So a lot of this very like waiting for marriage, like being pure, like forbidden fruit stuff. I mean, that's very like rooted in like her like personal history. But the books, like Bella wears like long skirts and like she's very like, but I don't know, she's kind of like edgy, like, you know, like late 2000s vibe in this movie, and she's just, I don't know, I think Kristen Stewart, her like characterization is a little bit more meek than she is in the books. Like Bella in the books is like I love you so much, like I don't know, and Kristen Stewart's just like breathing a lot.
Like Bella's a smoker, I guess.
Yeah. No, she's just like more like, especially in the second book, she's like, I'm gonna go die for him. And Alice is like, calm down. But that's, you know, that's getting way ahead. But the books, I stopped reading the second one because they just got so hung up. I mean, they're thick. They're stupid thick books. They're very long. The first book, pretty good, but like second book, I stopped in the middle of this scene where she was just talking about this blueberry muffin she was eating. And I was like, I don't have to be here right now. I don't care. I want vampire action. I want vampire sex. I want something. And that's when I stopped.
It's like when Twitter first came out in like 2009, people were just like, I ate a croissant today. You're like, I don't need to read this shit. Like, I don't care what you ate.
And that's what's so weird about the books is like, there's actually like, she talks, and that's why you could tell that she's like a Mormon writer, is like she goes into very like detailed descriptions of all the meals she makes for her father. Like she's like, I made enchiladas tonight, I think. I was just like, why is this? I was so sick of the food through line. I was like, I'd rather like do anything else. So I think the movies improved upon that by cutting it out. However, in the second movie, they do have blueberry muffins in the scene, so it is very book accurate in that way.
I've got an idea, Stephen. At your restaurant, you should have a Twilight night.
A Twilight
night. Like everything from the books you actually make in the restaurant. and you have a Twilight night. That'd
I
be
wonder
fantastic.
what kind of crowd we would attract with that. That's
Interesting
especially
crowd. Hey.
Just people, yeah.
And
No,
do we
go
have a
ahead.
synopsis just to get a breakdown? So,
Yeah,
if people
I have
hadn't seen this in the last 20 years.
I have.
By the way, the
Okay.
books came out when you were a child, like very young, like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you were grown men. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but like how quickly did you pick them up?
The movie went first.
I saw the movie first. I watched it. My mom and I picked it up at Target when it came out on DVD.
Right.
When I was coming home from a dance competition, and she's like, "Why not? Like, let's watch it." And I was like, "Okay." And I was kind of like feeling like I was like, "Oh, this is like stupid, teeny bopper." But then we like started to like get into it, and it was actually the running scene that made us get into it. Because I was like, "Oh, this is cool." He's just like got superpowers. What was the question? I forgot. Sorry, I got lost in the thought.
How of running and being romantically dropped on your head almost. How you got into the actual books at such a young age? But I guess you got into the movie first.
Yeah, I think I saw the first movie, and then that movie did really, really well, and it was just like Twilight
Quite
mania.
well. Yeah.
And then before the second movie came out, I think I read the first book, and then
got it.
Yeah. So I did it in the reverse order, but
so you don't like blueberry muffins?
I love blueberry muffins. I'm more of like a banana nut girl myself.
Me too. Yeah.
I think it's yeah, I'll fuck up a blueberry muffin. Sorry, can I say the F-bomb?
Yeah, you can say anything you want.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was like, "Oh no. I have no filter."
You haven't listened to any of our podcasts because I definitely am cussing every episode.
Okay. I just want to behave.
Yeah, behave. But you don't have
Behave.
to. This is not the one to behave on. This is why you're here, to not behave. Just
exactly. Like we want some unhinged takes on Twilight.
All right,
I've got those.
I'll go down the little rundown.
Give us the
open us up. We're talking about Twilight. Released year is 2008. I was in the throes of college, almost ending college at that time. Romance, fantasy, drama, 122 minutes, PG-13. You have Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson as the main romantic leads in this film, directed by Catherine Hardwicke. Rotten Tomatoes, 49%, but the audience loved it a little bit more, 72%. Budget, $37 million. Worldwide gross, $408 million. It was
did pretty well for itself.
Pretty well. It was shot in 44 days with that budget, and I think they crushed it. Synopsis. When teenager Bella Swan moves to Forks, Washington, she meets the mysterious Edward Cullen, a pale, beautiful classmate who turns out to be a vampire. As their connection deepens, Bella is pulled into a supernatural world full of danger and desire.
I don't understand what happened there. Did you forget how to read? What just happened?
I was trying to give a little bit of mystery and romance at the same time.
You mixed them and you had equal parts of negative.
Well, that's the plot of the movie, okay?
Boy, I was just too focused on what you were not saying. Anyway, great breakdown. But what I really took from that is they shot this movie very quickly.
Yeah.
And produced an astronomical amount of money. Did you know they went through 5,000 auditions for Robert Pattinson's role?
Yes.
Insane.
They had like this crazy open call. Oh yeah, I had like
really?
the 2-disc. They had the 2-disc set. Like, but it's interesting because Stephanie Meyer, the author, she really wanted.
Yeah.
She always pictured Henry Cavill as Edward Cullen,
but he's 25.
To me is like, I don't see that for him. He's got a very he just looks like he's a nice guy. And Robert Pattinson is very brooding, and I think really fits that a lot better than Henry Cavill. I can't picture that. I think you need someone a little more lanky to play Edward, because the description of Edward is like that he's like a supermodel, that he's very like angular. And Henry Cavill's like just kind of the all-American, like, you know, he's got a butt on him. I
Yeah,
just don't like
Pattinson's.
Yeah.
He's definitely got that. I think this was
he's
his first
European.
American accented role as well.
Oh yeah, he was in the Harry Potter
Yeah, 'cause he
movies.
was in Harry Potter.
After I thought. Was it after?
Before.
Was that
No,
before?
he
No,
was
this
in
is-
Goblet of Fire.
Because that came out because they pushed one of these movies in the dates because of the simultaneous, like both the movies basically came out at the same time. 08 and 09, whatever those dates were. I thought this was first, or at least it was shot first. I thought.
No,
sure.
I think Goblet of Fire is what, 2004, 2005.
I don't know. This is all semantics. I feel like he was still kind of like an unknown actor that
Yeah.
had a pretty face, you know?
Yes.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
think he has a pretty face? Oh,
I think he does. Yeah. I mean, and you know, he's one of those actors where he tries to break out of the mold of like this kind of teen heartthrob thing that he was like in Twilight. He even, like, when he was doing the press tour of Twilight, I read that he was like kind of trashing it a little bit. He was like, he didn't think the movie was going to do that well, and he wasn't sure like how it was going to be received. And then he becomes this heartthrob, and then like I'm kind of liking his career after it, like doing Good Time, The Batman, Mickey 17. He's an interesting actor to watch the trajectory of his career.
I like
Right,
his
but he was-
interview.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if it's an interview, but somebody asked him, like, his stalker basically
Yes.
was just like following him everywhere, and then like he decided to have lunch with her, and then he was just like so depressed that the stalker was like, I don't think I can stalk him anymore. Like, it was done stalking him after they actually met and had lunch.
Brilliant.
Because he was like so depressed and boring.
That's a great way to deal with that, I think. But he was in several, like, I know you're mentioning a lot of these movies that came out in the last like 5-6 years, but he had several flops like after Twilight, because he just was, people were like, that's Edward, whatever. And people didn't take him or Kristen Stewart seriously. And then there's kind of been a renaissance in the last like 5, 6, 7 years where they've, you know, kind of like revamped their careers and people take them seriously again. Because for so long, people were just like shitting on Twilight. They would always comment, oh, still a better love story than Twilight, or, you know, they can't act. I mean, freaking Kristen Stewart was 17 when she shot this. If I had to stay true for 5 movies to the acting choices I made when I was 17, that's scary. That's like, I mean, that's poor thing. Like,
I mean, what about Harry Potter? I mean, they were even younger, like half that age.
Yeah, I mean, so it's people are a little mean, I think. But I was glad that they cast someone young, because I mean, it's like if you take a show like Vampire Diaries, they cast like 30-year-olds to play like sophomores in high school, and that gave me really, you know, ridiculous expectations.
So that's actually a major question I have. How is your, like, on a 0 to all the blood? What's your level of ingesting entertainment or relating to either werewolves or vampires or something of these sorts? Like, are you all in? Sounds like you are.
I love vampire lore. I was so into like Phantom of the Opera, or like I was really into like Nosferatu, like the silent film growing up.
Yeah.
I was really into Dracula and just like that kind of like monster and like damsel in distress, gothic horror. Like I love that. I love that lore. When I got older, I really liked the show True Blood, which is just Twilight with a lot more sex. So yeah, I love the vampire lore. I think it's something that captures the imaginations and the libidos of everyone, that is like kind of this like forbidden thing. I mean, you're biting someone and like sucking something out of it. I mean, that's naturally just like that's erotic. Like and of course like sex sells, so that's going to be something that is going to be popular.
Do you still own your black lipstick, Doc Martens, and fishnets?
Totally. Oh yeah.
And
That's
you
like
guys ever role play in that?
No.
Like you're Edward, and I mean, I think this is like what's going to happen tonight. What happens in Utah Mr. Draper over there.
Yeah. I mean, this is the home of Stephenie Meyer, so anything can happen.
This is true.
And from one basement to another.
Um,
What about your lore,
my
Steven?
lore? Well,
Yeah, do
so
you like vampires?
well, first off, my lore kind of hit home right at the beginning of this film because Bella is the new kid, and that's kind of what I was growing up. Like I understood her plight of going into a school and not knowing anybody. Now I never had like people come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're the new kid. I want to meet you." Like it was never like that. Which is kind of weird in this situation. She was just like thrown in and she's like, "Fresh meat. I need to give her a kiss."
Fresh meat. I mean, it's
that's yeah, it kind of fits.
pretty accurate,
but
right?
yeah, but she was the new kid, so I related to that. I never had to move middle of the school year, but I kind of get it. Like took me a little bit of watching this and understanding like the lore of the vampires and the werewolves and like how they like cross. And I wanted more of that lore. I liked it. Like I liked that they had to like go to the Pacific Northwest to be vampires because it's like always rainy there and there's like never any sunlight. Like that's like part of the shtick of the vampires that they have. But also the vampires aren't like the traditional vampires that you would see in other mediums. Like these vampires glitter in the sun,
Yeah.
That's
Diamonds are forever. I went to Seattle in Olympia and the surrounding area 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, and I got a sunburn. So I really can't attest to the fact that this looks like that. But nonetheless, I get it. I think the Pacific Northwest would be a perfect place though for vampires to stay hidden to some extent. It's where Bigfoot's from. Gigantopithecus. Yeah. It's a good place.
It's interesting, like the lore of the sparkling in the sunlight. I mean, the whole like catalyst for this book series, Stephenie Meyer had a dream. The meadow scene where he's like sparkling and they're just like looking at each other. She had a dream where there was this guy laying next to her and she understood that he was a vampire, but he was like sparkling as the sun was hitting him and he was just like explaining like the lore of this world to her, and it was like kind of different than normal vampire lore. And I like how they play with those tropes, like they're cooking with garlic, it's not like the normal vampire tropes. But yeah, that's from her dream, so that's like what prompted this whole book series.
I don't know Stephanie and what her desire was or thoughts, but I think that she herself went to a meadow and she found some mushrooms on a log, and that's how that scene came about. She got fucked up and was like, "Oh my god, Edward," and then started masturbating, and this whole book series came. That's what I'm gonna guess.
This whole book series came. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question for you guys in terms of lore and desire and fun things. I think you guys use pet names for each other, correct? What would be a good vampire pet name if you were in a relationship?
I mean, we heard one in this film.
For you guys that you would call each other, like
if
Miss
we were vampires,
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, you're in a vampire relationship. What would you call each other?
That's a good one.
Hi, Carrie. Big tooth. I don't know.
Big tooth. Something with blood. I don't know. This is something I have to think about. But he did call her Spider Monkey in the film. That was like a little pet name
on the back. Another running scene and jumping scene. Yeah, great cinema. That was the benefit of that to me was laughter, and I don't know if that was intended because I laughed hysterically. Was that to be funny or like impressive or
impressive?
Both? I think it's like playful. Like this movie has a sense of humor. It's not all serious. I think that's what people don't understand. They think Twilight is just like, I love you. It's like, no, there's levity. There's moments, and the director, I think I read in the notebook, she wrote like 10 different like silly little lines that he could say to her that were like kind of flirtatious. And the one that Robert Pattinson really liked was the spider monkey line. And I mean, there was a lot, if you think about the term spider monkey, you think about the movie Talladega Nights, I'm gonna jump on you like a spider monkey. I mean, it was having a moment in the linguistic, landscape. So I think spider monkey was a bit of a buzzword, and I think that was a smart choice to go with that.
So our podcast should be Spider Monkey going forward.
Yeah,
We're gonna jump on movies like a spider monkey.
Yeah,
wow.
I think so. But yeah, I think Big Tooth would be mine.
Big Tooth is good. You'd have like a hole in the tooth, just like a straw.
Yeah.
You don't even have to like, eat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like that these the vampires of this world, these lore vampires, each have like a special like one superpower, like or a couple maybe. Like Edward's like really fast, and he can read minds, but not Bella's mind. And like another guy is like really good at the hunt and the scent. And the other one's like, I'm really good looking.
Atlas can see the future.
Yeah. It's just like, these things that kind of add to it. And I really appreciate that in the film. Even like I said, Edward does have a lot of hokey moments. And I highlighted one when he went to let Bella out of the car, and he used his super speed to just go around the car really quick. I was like, what?
And speaking of super speed, as a fan of movies, Stephen, and a film major, I have a question for you in relation to other comparisons to other films, and the way in the execution of the the fast movements or the fast forwarding, and when people are moving around quickly. What would you like on a pedestal? Like what kind of pedestal would you put that on?
It wouldn't be on a pedestal. No, it would be like in the trash, in a garbage bin.
Because I especially liked the boat scene where everyone just seemed to show up kind of like very quickly, randomly, and all had like a one-liner.
Don't play with your food.
As they were showing up.
Yeah,
it's great. Always the same inane questions. Who are you? What do you want? It's so good.
So good. I specifically, this is what immediately came to mind when you're like those scenes, and then I was like, that to me was the worst scene in the whole movie, and you liked it. You enjoyed those moments where like you're just like, oh, it's not taking yourself seriously, but it's not even funny. So it's like so anti-funny that it's maybe funny. Is that what you like about it?
I think
it's campy.
It's and I think you have to like take this into context as well, because I think over time, us as viewers, we've gotten a lot more sophisticated as technology's improved, and like we've gotten so into like hyper realism that and I think that we're moving a little bit away from that. Like with, I think that Jordan Peele's Get Out sort of helped burgeon in a new sort of marriage of like humor and scary, and people like liking the horror genre a lot more, because you're not supposed to take it so seriously, because it's not, every girl like runs and then falls. It's like, no, I'd be like booking it out of there. Like I wouldn't be anyway. So I think like, I mean, this is what, 2008, right? Like they shot this in 2007. So it's like thinking about the way like audience views things. I mean, even like the special effects, like in the first movie theater, the first like the scene of the train coming towards, like people were afraid and they like were trying to leave the theater because they thought the train was coming toward them. But
are you talking about the early movie?
The early movies. Yeah. So like over time we've gotten more sophisticated. So I think like the whole like campiness thing and the romance, I mean, this was like burgeoning. And I mean, plus you have like emo music and just very like, I don't know, angsty teenagers. And maybe it was because I was hitting puberty and I was feeling all kinds of things. But yeah, I don't know. There's you have to take that into context, because you're watching it as like very.
I don't think hyper realism doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's a different movie now than it is now. For example, Better Off Dead, Stripes, movies like that were extremely campy for their time in the 80s are movies that sometimes I can't even watch, but I understand the difference between it and their effort then, and it's still somewhat funny, but certainly things have changed. But I don't think it's because of hyper realism. But 2001, the graphics of Harry Potter are so bad. They're like so terrible. The first two movies, they're like really genuinely terrible. But
does it take you out of the movie watching them now, though?
Kind of a little. When it happens, I laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like,
when you think about
really bad.
But when you watched it back then, you were like, wow. Or it's like if you watch a movie like The Polar Express now, back when I was a kid and I watched it, I was like, this animation's amazing. But I watch it now and I'm like, they look a little weird. Like this
Even
is a little
even when
bad.
Steven, I think we saw what's the third Star Wars that came episode 6. What's that? What year did that come out? I remember when that came out, and
Revenge
it's
of the
similar time, and I was like, wow, the graphics are like really good on this. And then again, in comparison to Harry Potter, anyway, the budget I think was spent weirdly on Harry Potter, but nonetheless, I have to ask, how many people do you think actually learned to kiss from this movie? Like, did you?
I'm sure a lot of people. I'm sure they.
Do you have an answer, or do you have a story?
No,
both?
like that was hot. I mean, it's like this weird thing of like, again, I was talking to you about this last night, Steven, is like, it's like, he's like wanting to eat her, but he also wants to have sex with her. So it's this weird, like, you're like, what is he feeling? And it's kind of like, you're like, is he gonna kill you or kiss you? And it's like dangerous, and it's like that. I don't know. It's like every girl wants like a bad boy at some phase of her trying to figure out how to move around in the world. And that was just totally like, it's dangerous. It's not what you should be doing, and he might eat you, and that's kind of exciting and that's terrifying.
My wife always has told me this, and I don't know why she thinks the way she does, but she's always said that she wants to eat my earlobes. But in like very serious,
like,
very serious, like no lie.
Like
she'll
actually,
be like, this would be really good in she'll be like, this would be really good in soup. And then she'll like, there's a Korean soup. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? She's like, no, yeah, you'd be dead, of course. I'm like, what are you, like Mike Tyson? Like, what are we talking about here? What's going on? She also, which I've said on the podcast before, a multitude of times, probably at this point, which you haven't heard this, so I need to share this again. She also, you can get the framework of how her brain doesn't work. She also, or how I treat her, ironically, she would want an 8-inch version of me, and she would want to fill up the bathtub and just give me enough room to barely make it over the waves. But she'd basically be God, and I'd be in this bathtub, and she would just like splash water in my face and like dunk me under. I'm like, what did I do to you to like make you feel this way? Like, what's going? I'm gonna definitely wake up one day and there's a gun to my, or like a knife to my neck, like something like this. But anyway, my earlobes are gonna be gone. Won't be able to hear again, and I'm gonna be an 8-inch version of myself somewhere. And the
weird fantasy choices here, but you know.
Hey, everyone's got their fantasy. Like some people like to have their blood sucked.
We're not kink shaming here. This is a safe. This is a safe virtual space.
I will say, I have to get you on something, I guess, to some extent. But the doctor, I don't know who portrays the doctor, but he's the worst actor on earth. Like, has to be.
No,
like, it was just,
no way. No, I think what's so funny about Peter
now
Casanelli.
You're overlooking. You've got a tie to it. It's a direct tie. You got to give up something. Like I love Harry Potter. I love the actors and actresses.
What's bad about his performance? No, like just tell me. Like what's bad?
Everything was in cheese fashion. He's like
cheese fashion. Like elaborate. That's not good enough.
Like he's not an actually good doctor. Like he's portraying a doctor, but he's not actually being a doctor.
Well, here's the thing. He's a doctor that learned his craft in the 1900s.
Exactly.
He was clearly a doctor back then. Who knows if he's been reading up on textbooks?
So he's still using the same the methods of
he's
doctoring.
Like bleeding people. He's putting leeches on them. He's like this works.
What's penicillin? I haven't heard of that.
What's bacteria?
Oh my god! I thought he was generally a poor actor. I think a poor actor.
It's interesting because what's weird is I think that him and Kristen Stewart actually have better chemistry, and that's more apparent in the second movie. There's this scene where he's like cleaning up a wound, and I know we're getting into the second movie, but they're just like
I haven't seen it.
It's really like. It's weirdly sensual the way he's like stitching her up. And I was kind of like, damn, is she gonna like fuck his stepdad? Because I don't know. I just think they had better chemistry, but maybe who knows? Because those two actors, the lead actors, dated in real life. So I don't know.
Oh my God.
But it goes to
Rule
show that sometimes
63?
you can have good chemistry with someone in real life, and then on screen it just doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because they're both kind of doing the same thing, and it doesn't. There's no like friction. In my opinion, so I don't.
Yeah,
you need friction, and sometimes
for sure.
With Dirty Dancing, like Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey hated each other in real life, but on screen they're fucking electric, and I think it's because they fucking hated each other. But they just there's there's that something is like a spark. So I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to. They were
there to
that sometimes.
They were there to execute and get it done because they didn't want to hang out with each other anymore.
Yeah,
which may have been Rule 63. I think is it, or 64 or 67? I can't remember. But basically, if it exists in this world, there's porn for it. I can't imagine the Twilight porn that existed after 2008. What do you mean? You're the one talking about actually watching the movie, how erotic it is, but the porn made from it has got to be prevalent.
That's the thing, is like, I think that's what's so fucked up about our society, is like what's sensual and what's erotic about it is like what you don't see because it's in your mind. Like if you're just like, you're ruining the sanctity of that like fantasization if you just like showing like, penetration. That ruins it. That ruins it, in my opinion.
That I would love to see the DVD version of Twilight. That would be amazing. Double vagina, double anal. Yeah.
You're getting the whole Cullen family.
You're
in there,
taking away the magic. You're ruining my little girlhood magic. This is awful.
Well,
it's ruining
I don't want any children to be involved here or children to watch this. I'm just saying,
Here's my biggest gripe with the film, and this is, I mean,
because you didn't go to prom.
I didn't go to prom, so I do feel a little bit dismayed that that was such a big deal, going to prom, getting asked to go to prom.
You're still hurt about it though.
Yeah, and who does a casino
Stephen, will you go to
prom
with me?
Yeah, I would love to.
You guys should do it.
Prom?
Oh my God. You can go to your restaurant. You can make the Twilight night and then go to prom after.
And go to prom and get it like a stretch limo, do the whole thing. Yeah. But no, my biggest gripe was, we find out that Edward Cullen is stuck in this limbo of being a high schooler till the end of time, and he's had many graduation hats.
Yeah,
who knows how many Bellas he's met throughout the years. Maybe
he's a virgin too. No, he's a virgin too.
He still could have met a Bella and killed her, and feels very bad about it. Who knows? But what I will say is, the relationship is a little weird. He sneaks into her room at night to watch her sleep. He's literally 85 years old.
He's 109.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so that you make my point even bit, larger. And he's very possessive of her.
He's very
protective, but he's very he will go to another town just to make sure that she doesn't get mugged by some guys in the big city.
That's awesome.
Sounds creepy.
It's also
sounds like a stalker. Yeah,
sounds like a stalker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is love or if this is just manipulation and possessiveness. What do we got going on here?
It does make me question, because as I was watching this with you, I was like, when did he ever ask her about like her childhood or like any question about her? He doesn't ask her at all. Like, I was like, they just kind of like,
they lock eyes.
I love you. They're like, I love you.
They smell each other. The pheromones are high.
Literally. But is it pheromones or is it just like, I'm really hungry? Genuinely.
I think it's, I'm really hungry. Genuinely. 100%.
Girl,
yeah, it's absolutely that.
Girl, I'm gonna cook you up medium rare.
I got to get to this question I actually had written down here. The smelling part. I'm glad you got to it first. Weird. Something that I had a conversation with my wife yesterday, because and frequently she'll like smell. She'll like scratch her head and then like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? She'll smell our daughter's feet from time to time, so much so that she's named her feet Stinky and Garbage, and she's like, laugh when she puts it in my wife's face, like smell stinky, smell garbage. Anyway, getting way off topic. But do you? Is this is probably too far? But like, do you do that? Any of you guys? You smell yourselves? You're
Oh,
just
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, all the
yeah. And
time.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
natural. Like you
Is
love the
it?
smell of your own farts. You love like I
That's
don't know, it's
different. I'm
not
not.
that you
That's something
know
you
it's
can't get away
good,
from.
but it's like it's you. So you're like, that's all me. Like that's
So
you're
what do you?
just
What do you?
checking in. I don't
So
know.
you like to smell your head too? Do you get Steven to smell
Yeah.
you?
No, not in that way.
Got it. You're like, here, smell this.
No, I'm
I
not
got
like
something
I mean,
for you.
we're not like there yet. I'm not like, is this how bad is this? You know. I mean, we
yet,
gotta keep some we
yet
yeah, we gotta keep
Yeah,
some of
of
the
the
romance
mystery,
alive, you know,
right?
that's fair.
within reason.
We've debated this point with many couples over the years, and we are the non-farter like family, I guess to call it, or partnership, or whatever you want to
You
say.
guys don't
So we
fart
don't
in front of each other?
never. I've never farted in front of a woman besides my mom, maybe in my
Have
life.
I? I don't think I have, Olivia. Have I ever farted in front of
Babe,
you?
you farted and you crop dusted in the store.
Oh, when we were picking out DVDs.
Yeah,
That's
he was
right.
like, I was like, what is that? I was like, did you fart? And he was like, yeah, I was like, don't try to put up it. No, no, I think it's my parents. Okay, like I think everyone's different, but my parents like
Yeah,
hold each other down and fart on each other. Like that's
yeah,
so like that's like what I want. And I feel like
That's
that's
a
what
love
we're
language.
building. Yeah, I think so.
yeah. It's funny. We're on the opposite end of that spectrum where we have friends that say the same thing, like this is how I grew up and this is how my parents were. Christina, one of her friends, the same logic. But yeah, teach their own. It's not us though, and I'm not even smelling my head. I guess I am
I mean,
now.
some
After all
You
people
this
literally
take.
just
time.
smelled your head, John.
Yeah. I'm giving an example.
Okay, got it.
Right.
I smelled Steven's head though.
Yeah?
You've seen it
Should I
shaved
be
No,
too.
jealous or
when he's thrown up on me, I'm like, "Are you gonna be
Oh my
okay?"
gosh.
Aw.
Yeah,
I'd like to know more about
but
that at a later date.
No, you
oh,
don't.
he's
You
thrown
I
really
up on me
don't.
do.
many times.
Oh, no, I do.
I
I
have
wanna know.
I have I have to say, I have a review. I mean, most of the reviews, to be honest, are all tied back to like this movie or this book came out at a moment where it was needed. Basically, it was like the coming of age for their own personal lives, and it seems like
Totally.
most people share the same, like they just want to give it a nice warm hug. They really, it's dear to their heart. But love it or hate it, you can't deny one thing. There is something about Twilight that makes it a defining feature in the late 2000s. It presented a fantasy that many found laughable, and yet plenty were still willing to buy. And they go into the examples of saying it's not as bad a love story as Twilight, but a wonderful example for mainly girls. And I have to question ourselves, Stephen, is that why we dislike it? Maybe we need to open up a bit more, to be fair.
Maybe there needs to be a love story with the girl vampire and the guy human,
Oh,
Well,
and
there
that's a
just turn the
actually
great
is.
tables.
idea. What
They
is
did
it?
I think she did like a tie-in novel where it reversed the
My
genders.
God.
I think, yeah, I mean, because this is all she can write about, apparently. Although she did do one novel that was adapted
Yeah.
with Saoirse Ronan starring called The Host that was okay. Um, but I think, I don't know, speaking to the female experience, since I am the only, XX chromosome here, I
Yeah.
think there's something about Twilight, and I think also it has to do with who directed this movie, and in terms of, and I was talking with you about this last night, Stephen. I think this is the only one in the series, first of all, that's directed by a woman,
Correct.
and the rest were all directed by men, and like men
Hmm.
that made like a lot of them made like horror movies. Like the one that did Eclipse was David Slade, and he had directed like Hard Candy and a bunch of like very like dark movies. So it kind of drifted away from that like female perspective a bit, which I think is really important because you're telling the story of a
Yeah.
teenage girl and her desires. And so much of this movie I think is really important to women because it's a lot of it is the female gaze, right? Like you're objectifying men in a way. You're seeing more skin on Jacob and Edward than you are on women. And it's a lot about just the sort of very sensual rather than graphic visuals of sex and that portrayal. I mean, even in the fourth movie, when they first have sex, most of the scene is focused on those like very sensual moments that I think are more pertinent to like female sexuality rather than like male sexuality. But I think also what's great about the first movie is it didn't rely, I know it was shot in 44 days. They had very minimal CGI. Most of this movie was practical effects. I mean, even down to like they had the actual stunt doubles strapped in, like climbing the trees. And when he like rips the skin, James off of when Edward rips the skin off of that one tracker vampire and like throws away, that was like a melted cheese stick. Like they used so much
cool.
practical effects in this movie that I think just made it look more real. I mean, they put real like filters over the camera lenses that made everything look blue. So much of this movie isn't just focused on just the plot or the love triangle. There's like impressionistic moments where he's, sitting there playing piano and there's like the kind of like misty light coming through and it captures this feeling, and there's a lot of music. The soundtrack I think is also really important to this movie. There's like Radiohead, there's Paramore, there's um so many others. It was I think it
Robert
captures
Pattinson.
yeah, it captures this like drama, like listening to your iPod Nano and like sitting in the car and pretending you're in a music video or you're in a movie. I mean, I used to do that in the car, and it feels like that. It feels like the quintessential like 2008 like coming of age female experience. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let you guys
Great,
talk now.
great analysis. And I'll add to that and continue the diatribe that I was. Thank you for breaking this ridiculous segment up and make their boring lives secretly thrilling. And I think that's the essence of this movie. Like we all have boring lives to some extent. We do monotonous things from day to day, and then you have vampires that are going to break that up for you. It could be argued that Twilight, though, has some of the most objectively cringeworthy dialogues of all time. I'm afraid of losing you. But to be fair, it was supposed to be a movie for teenagers. Clearly was.
Yeah.
You don't go to movies for that audience with very high standards for dialogues. And I could say the same thing about Death Note, where Olivia, I would agree with you, not necessarily in this movie, but like Death Note hit all the notes for me. And I love it. Steven was like, this is the worst movie. Literally, it's the worst movie rated. And no, the 70 times we've done this podcast. So the whole time he was like, I can't disagree with you.
There was
more.
two of them I had to watch. I had to watch two of them.
I will never forget, and here's the point of all this. I will never forget how a 13-year-old me was mesmerized by the world of Twilight, discovered accidentally on a DVD rented from Target. Its kissing scenes quickly forwarded for fear of getting caught, this is hilarious because everyone I think did that. Acting like Bella in school, like you're saying, pretending to be somebody you're not, like for example, acting like Bella in school and like I was more interesting or knowledgeable than others of my age. But I think that's kind of what this hit. It hits if you're born around this time and the movie came out and you are a girl. I think it actually probably was very beneficial to watch this at an early age. And not in a negative way, which I think there's a lot of movies that can't say the same, even if this isn't like a cinematic masterpiece. I think it probably did help a lot of people.
I think there's a good and a bad side to it, because I think on the one hand it's sort of like empowering, like you can be this ordinary, clumsy, not that good at stuff, but like you can have this like strength and this whole secret world going on that people don't know about. But then on the other hand, I think it also set up this weird, it's like a Beauty and the Beast complex where it's like I'm the special chosen girl and I can fix him. I can fix this monster. I can be the
Tame
one
this
that
beast, yeah.
yeah, exactly, which I think it's a fun trope, but um it can also it can create like problems
Sure,
in terms of
dude.
like when you're selecting a partner, like, oh,
how
I'm
many
the special one that can fix this damaged, abusive person.
how many people get into relationships like that?
So many.
Overwhelmingly,
Mhm.
like I have, not to name them, I have tons of friends who are in types of relationships exactly like that. One that they're wrapping up a marriage because of it. But I would say that's extremely common. Like, oh yeah, maybe they had a poor childhood growing up, and therefore they're having this understanding that they can now fix themselves, which they haven't, and they have daddy issues possibly, and then they're going to go fix somebody else. And they die trying. But yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I mean,
That's true. I do
it's a
have a
weathered
question.
trope, though.
Yeah, it is a weather trope.
Yeah.
And I think not for me, not knowing what's going to happen beyond this movie, I do have just in the cultural zeitgeist of like there is a love triangle that goes on between Team Edward and Team Jacob and things like that. And I wanted to ask you, Olivia, like when you were watching the movies, like what team were you on?
Oh, I was Team Edward all the way. Loyal
All
to
the
the
way.
end, honey. Yeah,
Okay.
I also, I like older men, so that
Didn't know
stayed
that.
consistent, look at where we are now. I just think Edward and Bella, Jacob's a fun kind of like sideshow. Jacob definitely I think represents the more as you go further into the movies, their relationship is a bit healthier because their relationship that they have is grounded in a friendship.
Yeah, they knew
Um,
each other as kids.
yeah, but I just was I grew up loving vampires and gothic romance, so of course I was drawn to the toxic vampire. That was my team. I never wavered. My mom, because we watched these movies, we enjoyed going to these premieres together. She was Team Jacob. So that was,
Interesting.
created some tension. But you know who won in the end. But what's really messed up
I
is that
don't
Jacob.
know who won, actually.
My mom's dead.
Edward. No. I'm talking about
Was
the
there a big
movie.
fight? Was there a big fight
Yeah.
scene between the two?
The last the next 4 movies. They're just. She chooses Edward. She marries Edward. Spoiler, sorry, but it's been out a few years.
Whoa! Wait a second. Hey, I was gonna finish the entirety of this just to see what happens. I
Oh,
guess
give me a
that's
break.
done.
Give me a break. But what's really messed up is that Jacob ends up getting with their daughter.
What? Dude, that's the ultimate fuck. What?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna blow your mind right here. He ends up.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that the movie tries to justify why that's okay.
Jerry.
Can you kill somebody twice? That's rough. That's a rough.
It's wild. Yeah, he imprints on her as a wolf, like the baby.
Wow.
And is like, she's mine. And then she gets really mad. But by this time, I feel like the next 4 movies just became really goofy.
Is Robert in all of them? Stewart in all of them? They're all in
the only
same character
person
set?
that they recast was Victoria in the 3rd movie, because I think that the woman with the red curly hair, that she had a falling out with the producers or something, or she wanted to work on another project, and anyway, but she got replaced, and Bryce Dallas Howard was her replacement.
Is Bella's dad still drinking a beer in every scene?
Oh, hell yeah.
Just cracking beers.
And her dad's kind of cute too. It's so funny.
2 beers.
I used to think these people were so old, but then you look at all the ages of these actors. I think the woman that played Esme, Carlisle's wife, she was only 27. And they're like, oh, wow, she's the matriarch. And I'm like, she's literally 2 years older than me now. That's so insulting to women everywhere. But
that's weird how that works. I remember as a kid, even people that were I was in 6th grade and my brother's friends were in 8th, and I was like, fuck, they're old. They're so old. Or and then my sister's 4 years older and be like, wow, they're in high school. That's crazy.
That's insane. I'll never be that old. That's crazy. I just won't do it.
Just be a vampire.
Well, you always have an old man around you to always feel young.
No, oh my God. Yeah. No, but
his lower back always hurts, right? Does he always complain about his lower back?
No, it's never his lower back. He just likes to nap. That's his big thing.
I just like to nap, yeah.
He just likes to take naps.
That's always been the case,
the Great War. Yeah.
What we were talking, the Great War. It was that mustard gas. It really got to him. But it was what was you? We were talking about this last night, Steven. You were like, we were like, why do they have to repeat high school? They look like they could be just young adults.
Yeah, just put
why
on
do they do
a
that?
tie.
They can have their own apartments.
Yeah, technically speaking, yeah, you don't. I don't know about the laws in the state of Oregon, but yeah, you don't have to even go to school past 8 or 9. Technically, who cares?
No.
They're old enough to be on the emancipated.
But they choose to go to high school as adopted siblings, and then they say, "Oh, we're gonna date each other." That's a little weird. It's a lot of weird, actually.
But they're That's literally a line in the movie because they're not related.
I know, but it's
they
so
live
weird.
together. Yeah, but I mean,
When you were a kid, did you ever think that Edward had a big dick? I mean, that's
I never thought about Edward's penis size.
Never? Wow.
Nope, that never crossed my mind.
I thought about it today and last night when I was watching this movie. I'd be like, I wonder if he had that big vampire dick.
Probably, but like, here's the thing: like, you learn about the lore that vampires, and this is a big thing in the fourth movie, Breaking Dawn Part 1. When they have their honeymoon, she's still a human, and he's like, I don't want to have sex with you. I'm going to hurt you because he has super strength, right? And his body is basically marble, right? Because when they tear them apart, it's like rock. And they're sparkly, so they're marble or whatever.
Is
so I'm
that
like,
why
is
they
his dick just like marble? Like that would hurt.
It's like
Looks like a
Michelangelo's
Lisa Frank
David.
Mark.
I'm concerned for her. I mean, hopefully it's bigger than Michelangelo's David.
Could you imagine on? I don't know. That's huge.
pretty
He's 13
small.
feet tall. It's huge. 13 feet tall.
No,
maybe
but if
anatomically small, but
yeah, but like
portion size.
you gotta,
like,
yeah, like you
Sure.
portion yourself. That's a small dick. But he's, I don't know, maybe
Man.
maybe he's a grower. I don't know.
If I was on Tinder, never been on Tinder in my life, but like if I were on Tinder, is it swiping right or left? I don't even fucking know. But like if somebody's like, I got that marble dick, I'd be like, I just want to see this thing. Like, come on. If he had a marble dick,
I would never. No,
dude. If I had a friend that had a marble dick, I'd be like, I gotta see your dick. Like I have to see that dick. Marble dicks? I mean, come on. Give me marble dicks all day. I want all my friends to have
anyone
marble
that
dick.
talks about their dick, I think has a small dick.
Sure, I agree there. But a marble dick.
I don't. Yeah, but like texture, size, it's all in the wash. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't want to know about your dick. Like that could be.
Oh, I mean a literal marble dick. I'm not talking about a euphemistic like a metaphor here. I'm talking about if somebody actually had a marble dick. I want to see that dick. Does
that's
it work?
scary.
Like,
I don't want. There's no curve to that. Is
it circumcised? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Is he Jewish? Like, you know.
You have to go to get it chiseled.
Yeah, you're like, I would like a little off the top, sir. My girlfriend's Jewish. This is what she expects.
Do you know the back history of why this was, besides the fact that they're in forks, but like this was originally going to be called Forks, which is
really? Oh, that's terrible. Yeah,
it's horrible, right? Like it tells you nothing of what's going on. I mean, Fork on the Road shouldn't have read that book, but why? I don't know. Anyway, why Steph?
It's a real town.
Stephanie,
apparently,
why did I know? Why did
real,
Stephanie?
Yeah.
And there's a Forks High School, and they actually used memorabilia from the actual various ways. But what prompted her to write this story? Do you know? Besides
her
the
dream.
one scene of like, no, besides that one dream, but like that's it. Singularity, the single point of that dream spawned all of this.
I think she did like research about like towns in the Pacific Northwest and found this really small town that population 3,120 people. Now it's a lot bigger because it's turned into a tourist attraction. And that's their economy now. But
have you been?
No, I want to go.
Road trip.
Yeah, road trip. Come on, baby. Let's go. Because you can go to like the house. You can go to Bella's house. You can go to the Cullens' house. You can go to the restaurant where she gets mushroom ravioli. Like there's people that are really into this.
So like you actually can go to the restaurant. That's understandable. But like the house, does somebody live there? Or is it just like a museum where you pay?
I don't know, because like it would be a great Airbnb.
Oh,
maybe it's an Airbnb. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Wow, because like the 7 people watching this are going to go travel to some random person's house and be like, "Hey, I heard I can like hang out here."
But it's interesting how the inspiration can come to you like in a flash, like that for her. And like even J.K. Rowling, she was like kind of like just sitting on a train and just had the idea of like a wizard boy and just fleshed it out. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Have you ever had one of those ideas of like, I could write a book about this?
Yeah, lots of those ideas. Tons.
We should do it.
I mean, the valet.
That's true.
You know directly. Yeah. I thought were you like this giving me a softball here? But anyway, It was a fun one. I now don't have to watch. How many movies are there? 4 in total? Is that what we said?
There's 5 because the 4th
Holy
movie was
shit.
split into 2 parts. Because they were doing that to all of them back then.
Yeah, that's
They still
true.
do that.
Yeah. They still do. I mean, Wicked, they're doing that to Wicked, and I have so many opinions about that, but we're not talking about Wicked today.
Maybe on another pod, but we do need to get to ratings.
Oh, we do. Yes, we do. And so
we have
can you describe our rating system?
Sure, I'll do it. So we do a rating system of glasses, right? As our stars.
Oh, because you guys wear glasses?
Yeah, that's our whole thing. You know? Have you seen our logo?
Past you.
Wow, that's really cool, guys.
So on a scale of like,
I feel like we're being talked down to
a little bit. So they go by lenses, right? So like a half glass is like a half a lens. Full glasses is just one glasses, right? It goes all the way up to 5 glasses. If you get a 5 glasses movie, you're a golden glasses. It's a very rarefied air, only saved for a handful of the best movies that we've seen over the
Twilight
course
1 through 5.
Past couple of years. And so, we kind of just give it off a feel of like what we thought. Like early on, we were doing like very technical screenwriting, acting, cinematography. Like now it's just about vibes. Like, what did we feel about
vibes? Straight vibes.
Where do straight vibes?
Straight. It's honestly straight vibes.
Yeah, I'm like, who's the Gen Z in this relationship? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
But I can go first with Twilight. This was not a movie that was geared or marketed or directed towards me when it came out, and I had no interest in watching any of the series in the past 15 years or so since it's been out, and I was a little bit pleasantly surprised. I did fall asleep on the first trying to watch it, but once that baseball scene came in, that was really it picked it up. It was going from a 1.5 glasses. I gave it to 2 full glasses on this one. 2 glasses.
Olivia, I think you need to go next.
I'm going to give this one. Now, the rest of the movies, I feel like don't deserve much.
Just Twilight 1.
But I think this one, 4 glasses for me. Yeah. I think the way, the detail and the thought that was put into this movie and the production design, because she built like this cinematic world. I think this set up the lore for like 5 movies, and I think it did a really good job, and I think that they didn't do it justice the rest of the way through. So I really think this movie was a home run. Plus the soundtrack was amazing. There's just so many factors that make this movie iconic. This was the one that started everything. And I think that the rest of the movies really dampened this one, but I think this one is 4 glasses.
I would definitely agree that the series of movies and books are iconic, but iconic to me doesn't mean good. Like Wesley Willis, I think, is also extremely iconic, but also wouldn't consider him to be the greatest musician of all time. Schizophrenic man who passed away, R.I.P. But yeah, we're definitely in agreement here. I was debating, I don't know where this would go on the lower end of the glass rating, but 2 was actually my rating as well. So for 2 glasses, there were times where I was actually certainly invested in it, and then others that I was just laughing when I felt like I shouldn't be laughing. And the baseball scene really was just so utterly terrible, and that's probably because I hate baseball, but I also thought it was just so weird. It just didn't make sense to me. And things don't need to make sense though. I have in the background Holy Mountain, which is like nobody in the world. I can't even get you to watch it, Steven, for a goddamn podcast.
I've watched 30 minutes of it. Yeah, 30
Nobody
minutes.
likes it. Stalker, Tarkovsky, also iconic. Nobody seems to like that one either, but nonetheless, we can teach their own. You got to stand on what you like. Say, fuck all y'all haters. Long tooth.
No, is it long tooth?
It's big tooth.
Big tooth.
I like to be long in the tooth though. That's where you tell a story.
Or I don't think size matters.
I got one for you,
with
baby.
Teeth.
You're gonna be sweet. You're gonna be sweet blood.
I'm gonna be what? Sorry, Jonathan was laughing.
You're gonna be sweet blood.
Sweet blood? That's
Yeah,
that's cute.
vampire.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like a dessert.
See? Yeah, you're like the dessert, and I just very sweet. Not
Thank
not
you.
artificial sweetness.
I'm
all
gonna call
natural.
my wife. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
Oh
Let's
God.
move on. Yeah.
Low blicker.
No.
It's been fun. I love the hot takes. This was
Yeah,
great.
it has been fun.
This is so
we
fun.
should we
I
should find a.
very much desire opinions. Yeah. Let's
Well, I
smack us with
appreciate
the
your
opinions.
Olivia, and hopefully
And I appreciate y'all's wrong opinion. Thank you.
My opinions are facts.
No,
all right, till next
like
time.
I don't make the rules. I'm right.
That's true.
Well, good luck
All right.
in the next 4 hours discussing why each of you were right in your basement in Utah. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye, guys.